Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyveganrecipes.net. Today we're going to make a super simple, super healthy, and super delicious soup based on sweet potato. Sweet potato is one of my favorite foods, and it's actually quite a comfort food for me. I was talking on my blog last time about comfort foods, but the good thing about sweet potatoes is that they are really, really healthy for you. So making a very simple soup involving sweet potato is going to be fun and nutritious. So for those of you who want to skip ahead to the recipe, you can get that over at healthyveganrecipes.net. But for those of you who want to have some fun, today I'm ready to have some fun in the kitchen. I don't know why, but I'm in a really great mood today. It could be the sweet potato. It could be that I have my really big knife out. It could be that I just finished my workout for the day. Whatever it is, I don't know. But when you're in a good mood, it's a good time to cook because you get more into the creative flow of what you're doing and things just wind up tasting better. Now I should also mention that if you guys want a little bit of an exercise plan, I put together one in the series of 5 free videos that you can get if you head over to, you ready for it? healthyeatingstartshere.com/awesome, because it's awesome. And those are all free, but you have to sign up by email to get them. And you will see me doing a little workout, which was pretty fun to film. Getting outside. Anyway, I think it's time to start cooking. And one other important thing I wanted to mention before we get started, sometimes it's fun to have a kitchen glass. Phil's mom and I, when we make a special meal, we always get a kitchen glass going, and it's usually wine, but I've got water today. Very important to hydrate. And it's just more fun when you drink it out of a wine glass. Okay, so sweet potato, what are you gonna do? Cut the ends off this guy, and then peel them. And then you're gonna dice it, put it in a pot with some water, and get it boiling. Sounds fun, right? Yeah. Cutting sweet potato can be really not much fun unless you have a big, sharp knife, and then it's easy. I'm also going to throw some onion in there, and I just wanted to show you guys that as I was chopping this onion up, I got it at the farmer's market, and it is so fresh and juicy that it's milking. I don't know if you can see how white that is, but it's awesome. And look how gorgeous this red onion is. Beautiful. Beautiful, but got me crying a little bit. So I've got water in the pot. I'm going to add some salt, which I use Herbamere. It is a sea salt that's been mixed with some dried herbs, dried vegetables, and kelp powder. So really awesome for cutting down salt intake and also boosting the flavor of your dishes. Alrighty, get that up to a boil, a low boil, and once those are soft, or actually just before they soften, I'm going to throw in a zucchini just to soften up a little bit, so I don't know, maybe 15 minutes I'll throw this guy in. And then the last thing I'm going to add is some kale, but I'm actually going to not cook this kale. Alright, so the sweet potato is very soft, the zucchini is just getting a little bit soft. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't want to cook it too much. I'd rather leave it a little bit fresh for texture and nutrients and whatnot. But if you want to cook it more, make your soup smoother, because we're going to puree this, you can cook this zucchini longer. But for me, I am now ready to pop this over to my food processor. Alright, so I'm going to scoop this over to the food processor, and you want to not get the liquid yet, because when you do this in a food processor, you want just the vegetables first, And I will add the water that I cooked it in to make it more soup-like, thin it out, if you will. And the nutrients from the sweet potatoes, there'll be some in the water, so I don't want to throw this water out. I'm going to use it. I so rarely get an opportunity to use this ladle, so I'm kind of excited. Check out how pretty it is. Anyway. Okay. Get the top on. It's very important. Otherwise the food will fly. Turn it on. And wait. This is looking good, and more importantly, it smells amazing. I love the smell of sweet potato. Okie dokie. So I mentioned that I was going to put in this kale raw, and it's looking a little bit limp because it's been sitting in my fridge for a couple days. It's the downside of not being able to go to the farmer's market every day. A good portion of my meal tonight comes from the farmer's market. The onion was, the kale, the zucchini was. Only thing that isn't is the sweet potato and the seasonings that I'm going to put in there. Okay. So kale in there. And the kale, by the way, is the reason that I'm actually using my food processor to blend this. Normally I would use my hand blender because it's just so quick and easy. But with kale, a little bit tougher. I want to make sure it really gets blended up in here. And by the way, you can leave out the zucchini, you can leave out the kale if you want to, and you can just make this a sweet potato soup. But I like to incorporate, whenever I can, some green vegetables in here to lighten it up and get more nutrients into my diet. Okay, next, seasonings. This is a little chunk of ginger that I have. I'm going to grate it on my ginger grater and then squeeze the juice out. This ginger grater is one of my favorite gadgets, so it has teeth to grate up the ginger, and then it doesn't fall through to the other side, so you can collect the pulp, and then when you squeeze it, check that out. Now you can do this on a regular grater, it just won't get as much juice. Go to a kitchen shop if you want to pick one of these up. They're really, really cheap. I think mine was $5. And if you don't want to use fresh ginger, although I highly recommend it because it's very, very healthy for you, it has anti-inflammatory properties, so for people with arthritis, heart disease, it's good stuff. It also helps if you have a sore throat or a cold, but if you don't want to go through with using fresh, you can definitely just use ground ginger. And if you like, it can be part of an Indian spice mix or a curry powder, which is what I'm going to put in here. So I'm going to use about that much. This is a mix of cumin, coriander, cardamom, a whole bunch of fun spices. I'll put a link to that in the recipe. And then the last thing I'm going to pop in here for flavor is a little bit of sesame oil. Yummy, yummy stuff. And it really adds to the Indian flavors. It's pretty awesome. While this was blending, there was steam coming out the top because sweet potatoes are hot. Okay, time to taste this and see if I need to add a little bit of anything else. No, that's really good. I think the only thing I need to add here is a little bit more water because it's a little thick. I like a thick, creamy soup, but not quite that thick. So I'll give that one last process and then serve it up, and I'm going to sprinkle some pumpkin seeds on top. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that recipe. Be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you think of it. You can find the full recipe and directions over on my website at healthyveganrecipes.net. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time.